Hi listeners, this is To Balon Detector with Jacek Golański, Season 1, Winter in California.
To Balon Detected.
So these nuts are on everyone's chin. If you ever visit California, don't be surprised if you see a lot of guys pants down with their nuts on people's chins. Yeah. I will be Bobby Bob 176. Wait, no. Scratch the 176. I will be Bobby Bob.
Hi Bobby Bob.
Pasito a pasito, suave suavecito, nos vamos pegando paquito a paquito, que le enseñas a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. That's like, oh, such a good part of the last, oh shoot, of the last song. No más. No más. No más. I do love to sing. I'd have to find something happy though. I can only think of something sad right now because it's such a good song to sing. Like it's not that I'm sad, it's really easy to sing that song. Don't come in, we're jerking each other off. The host will join us in jerking each other's off. She will watch and record, and she will partake herself. That's how cool of a host she is.
Good evening, guys and gals. Thank you for having me on your show. Yes, as you just heard, Chris introduced me.
Whoa. I'm Bobby Bob.
I'm so sorry. I should know to be more aware of words like that because we live in a progressive time. Also, my pronouns are she, her, hers.
Oh my god.
Yes. Hey, it's not funny. It's a real thing.
Oh my god.
Anyways, my name is Nicole Cooper. He's laughing so much. Would you like to capture this laughter? Why, yes.
My pronouns are? How do you choose them? How do you know that you have to choose them? Like, do I have to choose my pronouns?
I am forced to say it because I have partaken of orientation programs at my university. They like to beat us down with these pronouns and to the point where it is almost uncomfortable if you don't use them when you introduce yourself. If everyone else is doing something, it's almost more uncomfortable to not do it. Let's say you're in a line and everyone's introducing themselves to like a guest speaker. Hi, my name is Neil. My pronouns are he, him, hers. No, that's not right. He, his. Why can't I think right now?
He, his, him.
Is that it? He, his, him. I'm so sorry. He, him, his. That's it. Let's say 5 people in front of you do it. They just made it culturally comfortable to say it and almost obligatory because nowadays it's so common to meet people who don't go by their biological gender. So it's better to just say it immediately so that you don't have to have awkward conversations and ask them. Personally, I don't agree with this. I'm just forced to do this.
Can you invent a new gender and say my pronouns are...
So pretend you're trying to meet me.
Hi, my name is Chris. Who are you?
My name is Yolanda.
Yolanda, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you don't sound very sexy.
Are you trying to say sexy is supposed to be connotated with a female gender?
Well, considering I'm a straight man, yes.
Are you assuming I'm a female? And you haven't even asked me?
Well, you said your name was Yolanda. You do have a mannish voice, but I could see you have boobs. And there is somewhat of an ass there. And you have long hair. And I could tell by your face that you are definitely a woman.
Just because biologically I'm a woman doesn't mean I identify that way. So actually, my pronouns are they, them, and it.
What if I don't care?
Well then fuck you. Sorry, I just had to interject that. I think all human beings are beautiful. You can use singular verbs, by the way, because I'm still a single person.
Yolanda.
See, you're the type of person that is exactly the reason why we have bad things going on our planet.
Oh, yeah? Yolanda, sounds like you're making assumptions now, too.
I don't need to assume. I know your people.
That is mean. I'm telling my mom on you, Yolanda. Ladies and gentlemen, it is getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. It's a very popular song by sexy people.
Bob is really into sexual songs because he's a sexually deprived man.
I actually channel it into these nuts and I keep it there. Thank you very much. Yolanda has actually sucked these nuts before.
He only wishes, man. He wishes that someone of my caliber could suck
She
his
doesn't know what
nuts.
happens when she's sleeping.
Hey, I know how much you have a fetish for
Oh
balls.
my god.
We have counseling on campus. If you'd like to admit you are addicted to these nuts, we have therapy for you. It's free, courtesy of Cal Poly students.
I'm addicted to fucking you in your butthole.
Do you know what the word consent means? I don't think there was any consent in that scenario. Are you a pedophile?
Well, actually, I'm definitely not a pedophile, but that does not mean there needs to be consent.
Yeah, he could also be just the
A rapist.
rapist, yeah, of grown-ass people. Of all sexes and all pronouns.
Emphasis of all sexes. Which you have clearly partaken of. What does consent mean to you, Bobby Bob?
What does it mean to you, Yolanda?
I fucking asked you the question first. Because I already know what you're going to do. You don't like thinking right now.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to say something and you're going to be like, yeah, me too.
No.
So I'd like you to use your brain power for this question. It's also good for men in particular to think of this concept.
Consent means both parties agree to the act of whatever's happening. But sometimes people can just not care. And it just happens anyway. We're back with the host.
Oh my gosh, hi. Yeah, I think Yolanda's gone. But it's me. I'm so happy to be here. Nicole is here. Nicole! Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about makeup tutorials. I've recently been researching eyeshadow colors. I did some studying on brown eye color, mainly because I have brown eyes and I only care about myself and not other people.
Really?
Yes,
Very obvious.
I'm quite selfish. But anyways, back to me. Found out brown looks really good on the eyelids. Totally recommend. It would really make your eyes pop. Bobby Bob, if you would like to get some bangin' chicks, I highly recommend that you practice these makeup tips.
So, what is tip number 1 to look banging? And does it apply to guys as well?
I was going to give you an answer directly toward men. So, there is a 10-step process. Some people start at an earlier number than others based on biological given beauty. I would say you'd start at step 1. So the first thing I would recommend that you do, you should probably get a higher paying job so that you can get intense facial reconstruction surgery.
Okay. What is tip number 2 then?
You should probably go to the store, preferably Bath and Body Works. They have a copious amount of beauty products and body wash. Clean yourself, because hygiene's important. Even animals rely on scent in order to find a mate. Penguins, I feel like, rely on audio, so maybe you should practice talking in front of the mirror once you get past this odor of yours. Work on that charisma. You can talk to yourself. Avoid doing this in public because people will think you're crazy. It helps if you're on drugs. You can even record yourself if you want. Write down thoughts you have at the time. Think back or reflect on them to moments you thought of a more creative thought than usual so that people think you're smart. But really, people won't be paying attention. They'll just think, wow, that's different than usual. He must be a cool guy. Bam, you got a woman. Yes. It depends on what kind of caliber woman, though.
Could you give exhaustive list of calibers of women?
So there's the low balls of girls. These are pretty easy to find. They have no self-esteem. Most of them have daddy issues. 90% of the time will not have a father in their picture. Their mom is probably also has issues with her father. So it is a domino effect of girls with daddy issues. These women do not value education. They simply look at men as wallets. Sometimes they don't even know that they're people. You can easily find these women, especially if you have money, or if you pretend you have money. Some people are willing to take out loans for these women because they are so desperate and ugly, but they know money is something that can help them get this woman. Their looks are not guaranteed. Then another caliber woman is basically everyone else. These women actually respect themselves because, there's only 2 options. You either do or you don't. These women that do respect themselves do value education. They don't value having a man, but you can win them over with charm, good looks, education, money, stable income, a job, a nice house, a car, good-looking family, future investments, basically everything that involves being a perfect human being. And yeah, if you can achieve any of that, you can get a woman. It's very simple. No, you need all of them. Good luck.
So you mentioned earlier something about hygiene. My girlfriend actually really enjoys my stank. So I just want to know, is there a way I can preserve my stank and make something out of it, like a candle or perfume.
Did you just admit you have a girlfriend? Why did you make me explain that 10-step process to you?
We have an open relationship, and I currently actually have 3 girlfriends. I'm just trying to find a 4th one right now.
What was the question you had earlier? How can you channel your inner stank into a product? Yeah. Have you ever watched the movie Holes?
Yes, I have.
Remember how that little kid found that nasty-ass jar of peaches and decided to make it juice?
I don't think he made it juice. He just called it sploosh.
That's all you need. Some dumbass name, and then you can just put anything in it, and people will buy it. Especially if the name is weird, because people are curious by nature.
Well, my girlfriend knows my stank. She knows my stank. It can't be anything bad. It needs to be my specific stank.
Sorry, I thought you wanted business tips. Honestly, you could just stick something up your butt long enough so that the scent of it lingers on it. I.e., candles work. The shape of them are quite phallic. If you want, you can buy some of mine. I'm starting my own entrepreneurship of candlesticks, actually. And I'm trying to diversify them because, I really care about culture. So you can buy yellow candlesticks, white candlesticks, black candlesticks. I even have mixed candlesticks because that's becoming more common as traveling is more frequent. Yeah, they're kind of confused. I don't really know what kind of box to put them in. Oh, we seem to have an audience member that has a question for Chris. Okay. Hold on, let me get the speaker to them. Hi, Bobby Bomb.
Oh my god.
I'm such a big fan. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you're here with me in person. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Sorry, okay. I just have a question. I just want to know, what do you think of these nuts? If you actually would like to know, I think it is quite stupid.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. She thinks they're delicious. My thoughts on these nuts. I was born with them, and I feel I'm so lucky. I think about every day how lucky I am to have these nuts. They're always on another girl's chin. They always remind me how grateful that they are to have these nuts on their chin. Sometimes I just have lines of people outside my door waiting for these nuts to be on their chin. It's a blessing.
Can you please share with the viewers about your elaborate scheme about what you would potentially do when killing someone?
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, yes. So this one's really cool. So, you're struggling to kill someone, right? You guys are fighting it. It's cooler if they're alive when you do this. So you got to make sure they're alive. You find a bucket or a sink or some kind of container filled with liquid nitrogen. And what you want to do is you want to shove their head in the liquid nitrogen. And you leave it there until it's almost completely frozen solid. Then you take the head and you bash it onto a hard surface. And their face just shatters into a million pieces. And they instantly die. It's a very fast way to kill them, actually. It's faster than you think. This is some good stuff.
Where would you obtain liquid nitrogen?
Well, any kind of scientist, usually, they'll use it, or nurses and doctors. I think it might be easier to become a nurse. Nope, actually, it's very competitive here. Never mind. But you could go in for a checkup, actually. I went in for a checkup one time, and they gave me a cup of liquid nitrogen. If you just pretend that you have a wart, and you follow them to the room where they have the liquid nitrogen, bash them in the head so that they're unconscious, and then you just steal the liquid nitrogen. You obviously steal it in something that's concealable, so you don't notice that you're just having a whole tank of liquid nitrogen. But yeah.
Why just don't kill the person that you made them unconscious in order to steal it? Use it right there.
Because in order to kill as many people as you want and be satisfied, you don't want to get caught. That's murder, and it'd be very easy for someone to find the body and hold me responsible for that, and then I wouldn't be able to use the liquid nitrogen to kill anyone else. So I need to keep him alive so that I'm safe. And then, I take the liquid nitrogen to an abandoned warehouse that's under my name, or a fake name, actually, under a fake name. So it can't be traced back to me. And, I kidnap people, and I'll torture them for a bit first, tie them up, maybe do some sexual things if they're attractive. Ooh. I wonder what it would be like to shove someone's butt into liquid nitrogen and then hit it with a baseball bat as hard as I could and just, watch it shatter. Swing, bada, swing. We have another guest answer question, I think.
It's actually the same girl. Okay. You're super fan, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I love you so much, Bobby Bob.
What's your name?
My name is LaQuisha.
LaQuisha. Are you black, LaQuisha? I'm colorblind.
Aren't we all colorblind?
What?
Is this the whole I don't see color thing?
What pronouns do you use?
Mine are normal.
Okay. Normal.
Yes, biologically given. Who does that? Anyways, Really glad that you explained that to us. That's very enlightening. Glad to know that you are grateful to share your nuts with everyone. It's just inspiring to be like you one day, Bobby Bob. Man.
LaQuisha, you can actually buy a replica of these nuts at your local store now.
Oh my gosh, Bobby Bob. Would you give me the honor of putting those silicone balls onto your chin?
Oh, of course. LaQuisha, I'm so into females with nuts. It's been my dream.
Can we try 69ing while putting each other's balls on each other's chins?
Of course we get 69. And it'll be a fun time. We'll do a lot more than just like basic positions. We'll bring in some chocolate and some bacon. Maybe a little bit of pickle juice. You know what? No, forget the juice. We'll just have the pickle. I think you know where I'm going with this. Yeah, bacon, pickles, and chocolate. What do you think of that?
That sounds like a balanced meal to me.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing it's missing are these nuts. Because they're high in protein. Ha ha.
Yes, protein does come out eventually. Not of the nuts, though. From my penis onto your face. Because the nuts are on your chin, so the protein has to go onto your face.
Oh, it sounds like we have another audience member that has a question. Hey, what's up? My name's Kevin. Yeah, so I kind of like stabbed my girlfriend yesterday because I thought it was kind of hot because she's really into pain. So, I just thought I'd get kind of freaky with her, because, usually I bite her, slap her, but, just thought a few stabs here and there. Freakiness going on from that. But yeah, I kind of took it a bit too far and I stabbed her in the face. Hearing that you are a respectable murderer who has been so brave to come out to the public and still not be arrested baffles my mind. But I wanted to hear some of your expertise on how should I dispose of her body? Or what kind of recommendations do you have before I dispose of her body?
So the easiest way to do this, it's kind of the worst way though, because it's easier to get caught. You really need to know how to conceal the smell. But you get a tub and fill it with acid. And, you put the body in there, and over time, the body will, very short amount of time, the body will dissolve. And you just take all that liquid dissolved bodiness, and you can pour it down the drain. But that's a really bad way to do that. The better way would be to cremate the body. Find someone in a morgue, and, that you have connections with, obviously. And take the body there, burn it, and spread the ashes. No one will ever know. Another way, if you happen to live in Russia, you can take it to the most eastern part of Russia. There are many parts of Russia that have not been explored because of how bad the terrain is and how dangerous it is. A lot of people cannot survive there, so no one would think to go there. Not too many people would be around searching. No one would happen to stumble upon the dead body at all. It could easily, or if you have a boat, take it out and dump it in the middle of the ocean. But don't just do it. Do not do it close to the shore at all. Like, at least make a week trip out into the ocean. 2 weeks, actually. 1 week out and then 1 week back. And then you dump the body at the end of the first week. So it's really far away because you don't want any scuba divers, finding that body by accident.
Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Do you have a boat, by the way? Because, I don't have one. Also, how do I explain to her parents that, she just doesn't exist anymore? Do you have to think of elaborate stories to explain their disappearance to loved ones?
Actually, people will believe most anything. So you could just make up a story and be like, oh, last time I saw her, she went to get us a pizza, and she decided she wanted to walk, and she just never came back. So I guess maybe someone grabbed her along the way or something. I don't know. Make something up. It's not that hard.
Let's just hypothetically say I may or may not have sent an email with attached photos of her dead body to her father.
So you, sir, are a dumbass and will most definitely get caught. I'm sorry to hear you are such a failure at being a murderer.
I just wondered what kind of punishment would be served in California.
So if you are underage, which happens to be under the age of 18, the punishment might not be as severe. You will serve a long time in prison, possibly juvie, I don't know which one. That's only if they decide to try you as an adult. So you could get out of jail eventually. But if you are 18 or older, that's life in prison and you're fucked. The previous guy, Kevin, he's not getting out of jail for sure. But if he escapes, some people can escape from prison, or some people, maybe the judge will give him a chance of parole. So I don't know, maybe it's usually life in prison, and he'll die in there. And it depends on how bad the murder is. Sometimes they'll put you on death row, depending on the state. You can get the electric chair or injection or a shooting squad.
We have another guest speaker. We have our expert biologist, Sally, in the field. Sally, can you tell us what's happening in the prison? As we can see in the background, we have someone experiencing an injection as I speak. He's currently quite comfortable, but in a few moments, that will be very opposite. Lots of our cells use sodium-potassium pumps. These do basically everything in our entire body. It's an exchange of 3 sodium cells into the cell, and they pump out potassium out of the cell. This creates an electrochemical gradient, which helps fuel processes throughout our body. And if you inject someone with excess potassium or sodium, it will basically fuck up everything. Your entire body will contract because these injections are known to cause an excess surplus of either sodium or potassium, and they will cause your entire muscles to just stop working. Or it can do the opposite, and they can overly contract, which is extremely uncomfortable. Then you die. Oh, we have more comments from Kevin. Yeah, man, I'm really fucking scared. That I sent that pretty dumbass email to her father. He responded a few minutes ago. I think he's trying to track my location, man. I'm kind of freaking out. Please, man, you need that boat, man.
Kevin, first of all, you need to get off this program, this thing we're having here, because you're exposing yourself to the world. You kind of fucked yourself.
Yo, man, I think I have a great idea where I should hide. Yeah, if you want, I'm going to text you the exact GPS locations on it. Actually, I'll drop it in the link below this video. But I plan on bringing excess amounts of PB&Js with me to survive. And 1 fishing pole. I'll probably use my pubes as fishing bait in order to gain more fish to continue eating. I plan on cavemanning it up.
Kevin, might I suggest using the pubes as string, and then parts of your penis flesh for the bait?
It's pretty fucking big, just so you're wondering. I could show you. No homo.
The fact that it's big means you have a lot of bait, which will last you a while.
If you want to know what it tastes like, man, you are more than welcome to get a taste of this big-ass dick. But as long as you say no homo, because I'm a heterosexual male. But it's okay. We're in California, like you said earlier. Everyone's accepted here. Everything's okay. So, I love you, man. But no homo.
Kevin, I'm going to have to kick you off the air here. Going back to the subject of DMs, it happens to be Valentine's Day here in Cali. And I just wanted to say, which happens to be Singles Awareness Day. It brings attention to all single people that they are single. It is a day to stuff your face with chocolate. And apparently, it is the only day where guys do things for their significant others. Because all the other days, they just treat them like shit, apparently. So they need to have a day dedicated to treating your old girl nice. But yeah, that is today.
Yeah, so like I said, man, I had a pretty elaborate date planned out for my girlfriend. So, do you want to get lobsters with me today? And then I'm going to go into hiding. Although you're looking kind of cute, man. You might be worth staying here. But that's only if you want to. Because, I value consent. My mama raised me right. Love her. She's great. Oh, man, she's so hot.
So, Kevin, I hate to break it to you. I'm actually in a committed relationship with my wife, Nicole, who doesn't care for consent, so that is why she's my wife. If I was with you, I feel like I wouldn't be able to have sex with you whenever I wanted, because you said you were all about consent. It's not what I'm about. It's not what I'm about.
Man, but I killed my girlfriend for you, man. Seems like Kevin's gone. I'm not sure where he went. He said something about stalking you and going to your house.
I have the most advanced security system in the world. It involves a number of dildos, literal booby traps. They're literally booby traps.
Mr. Bobby Bob. Sorry, almost said miss. Incorrect use of pronoun. Can you explain what the booby traps do?
There are ones that act like mines, where if you step on the nipples, it triggers an explosion.
Sorry, quick question. Do you have more inclusive booby traps that are using male genitalia, not just female? because we're living in the 21st century. So I think it's important to represent both genders, which, by the way, is quite obviously a binary construct. Hey, man, I don't agree with that. Shut up, Yolanda.
I've been told that I can be an insensitive person, and I believe I am, because I honestly don't give a fuck if I don't include all those other people. Yes, I'm only using female body parts. Everyone else can go suck a dick. If they're more interested in that, that's good for them. I am not, so I only use female genitalia.
Earlier, you did describe how you had dildos set up as contraptions also for baby traps. Can you explain what those are set up to do?
I have the system that scans for height. It will detect where the mouth is. This dildo is attached to this robotic arm that shoots out, and it just shoves it so far down your throat that you start to suffocate, and then you start to throw up usually, but there's no place for the throw up to go, so you start drowning in your own vomit.
Are you done talking? Wait, they drown in their own vomit? How much vomit do these people have? Have you ever made a Haitian man drown in his own vomit? They're quite skinny people.
Usually that actually is better because they end up throwing up acid. It burns away their lungs, and it makes it a more painful death.
Another quick question. I heard on the streets that you're quite into BDSM. Do you have a torture chamber room in your house?
Oh, of course. Like, that's where I get the thrill of murdering someone, is through the torture process. Like, you know, and of course it makes the sex that much better too, you know. If you want real BDSM, well, hit me up sometime, or I might just kidnap you, whichever comes first.
You hear that, ladies? Even though he's not single, you might have the pleasure of being kidnapped by this fine-ass piece of man. As long as the Chol is also okay with it.
Oh.
Which I apparently think I am the Chol right now. And I forgot who I'm speaking as. Anyways, I'm fine with it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the more the better. You know, it's fun to experience things.
Any further questions?
No, just want to reiterate that you're amazing, and I love you. I'm so glad we're married. This has been the best 15 minutes of my marriage ever. Thank you for putting all that bread on our table. And dead limbs.
Yeah, speaking of food, I have a cookbook as well that you can buy with human remains, most of the dishes. Toenail chili, and actually eyelid chili. You can find toenails and eyelids in there. The hot dogs, obviously, the hot dogs are made with penises. You can have flan, which is just like a boob set on fire. And the intestines can usually count as sausages. Actually, you use it for the casing, and you use the flesh as the stuffing. Chopped liver, duh. Yeah, you know, I don't want to give away all of it. You'd have to buy my cookbook to explore the rest. I want you to buy my book, so.
Which is why I brought guest speaker, nutritionist, Kelly. So, Kelly here. I can only do basic girl voices. I'm learning. Hi. So, have you thought about including a nutrition label on all of these recipes that you made?
As a murderer, you don't really have a lot of time for stuff like that. It's a very hectic life, you know, a lot of cleaning and running, and, you know, you gotta be very precise and very careful with things. That's why I never get caught, you know. Because I dedicate my life to this shit. I've perfected it. And so, you know, that just left no time for shit like that. And
your wife, as of 20 minutes ago, is very concerned of your excessive fat on your body. She thinks you're eating way too much human flesh. Without doing much research, I could assume that there is a high percentage of fat in humans. Do you think it is worth the deleterious effect on your health after consuming said flesh?
Well, actually, me being fat is her fault. She's constantly hungry, constantly wanting food, usually just because she's bored, you know. Back to the health thing, there's a high risk of getting AIDS from consuming human flesh, but it's okay because it is worth the risk. Trust me. I feel quite well. There's medications for it, and there's actually a cure for AIDS. The government just doesn't want to tell you.
Can you describe what the taste of flesh is like?
It just tastes like chicken. You know, honestly, just like everyone says to everything. Oh, it just tastes like chicken. Well, it does apply to this. It just tastes like chicken. So you can basically put it in everything, you know, chicken tacos, human flesh tacos, chicken bean burrito, human flesh and bean burrito, chicken noodle soup, human flesh noodle soup. I think it's the same thing. It just has a more intense flavor, like more chickeny. You know, it's almost like the cumin of chicken in that way.
Sorry, did you say cumin? I don't think you pronounced that word correctly.
Then how would you pronounce it? Cumin?
Coming on these nuts!
I know how to reach all of the two balloons that I talked with. If you have questions for them or would like to contact me, write. My email is fishgoat@gmail.com. Goodbye.
I'm trying to think of nickname. All right, this should be good.
Are you gonna tell the story now for us?
Mm-hmm.
But wait for the cracking flame.
Oh yeah, stop. Wait till
Some people are so rude.
Sorry. I apologize. Nuts.
Oh my
And I'm so sad this is recorded. And yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, and then you're the reason why World War III will happen. Yeah.
Whoa. Woo.
That was our improv. Did you like that?
Logic.
That's really loud. I'm sorry, viewers.
No, viewers.
YouTube viewers. Thank you for.
Typical Nicole.
So mean.
So what is
Bye.
They like to use single pronouns, single verbs.
us?
Oh. It's so loud.
No, like this one you are quiet, that's okay. Like, create the habit of having it a little bit further.
They're just cracking up over here.
What pronouns do you
Yes, I was just gonna say that. Oh God. You can't even say it.
Sorry. But should really get some. I'm sorry. For some reason it has come out.
That
Tabo.
I really think you should be like Oh my god.
I have so many identities.
I was using my third arm. Oh. So yeah. Oh, I was trying to find chocolate, but I thought there was more chocolate. Oh. You know. Because, you know, they know it's, yeah.